without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Andy Albright.
Hey, what's happening? And we got Chad here. All right, we're going to move his chair back here a little bit because me and him going to chat a little bit. Let's see here. Congratulations on these winners. It's always, I don't know if you know this, Chad, but it's boring as everything for people to listen to leaderboards read out if their name ain't on it.
Well, there's an easy way to change that.
That is an easy way to change that.
Get your name on it.
So we have been, our goal with the Alliance is to direct people into a better life, happier. Because if I had a choice between being rich and being happy, I'd go with happy every time. Once I got happy, I'd be trying to get rich.
That's right.
Does that make sense? Because you get a nicer car to ride,
That is true.
you give a bigger check to your preachers,
Oh, yeah, they like that.
and you get better seats at the ball games.
That is true.
You with me? There's a whole aspect to once you're happy. So our goal is to get them both. Help people make a difference. It's my passion. It's what I like to do. I like to see people do better. And I see a lot of potential out there. And it tears me up when I see potential not utilized, when people don't become who they can become, or really who they already are. So we're always running these, I call them tricks. You could also call them leadership opportunities.
Okay.
Depending on how you phrase it. But what we do is we do things like this right here. We put together these things right here called T-shirts. Okay, now this one right here is 3 to be free. And on the side, of course, we put the cool little Alliance. I like this T-shirt, by the way. This is really a nice T-shirt. This is a leadership opportunity. This is also a trick. This is a ribbon, a piece of ribbon. This is a sticker.
Yeah.
And I love these people that say, you know, I don't need motivation. I don't need a sticker. What do you need? Do you need a poker? Do I need what do I need for you? You know, I put a sticker up there to try to get you to win, or do I need to poke you? You say, you just need to tell me how. Well, bro, I'll tell you how. We're going to tell you how. But how you build a big team is by recruiting people.
That's right.
And I like these people that go like, I'm going to recruit one and train them. I go, what you're going to do is you're going to hatch an egg and try to boil it or something. I don't know what you're trying to do. We're doing confused metaphors up in here. I don't even know what you're talking about no more.
All right, make it plain, all right.
I'm going to try to explain it. I'm going to explain it the best I can. You are the farmer. You plant them. God grows them.
I like that.
That's right.
You cannot tell one man that he's going to make it and another man he can't. But if you put the opportunity out in front of them, some will grow, some won't. That's the way farming works. You plant stuff in a hill, you plant it in a row, you don't know which seed's going to come up. Your job is to plant. And when I get people started in the beginning, by the way, this is Terry, this is for you, James Hill. You got to start working on this, bro. You got to get in depth, and you got to get wide. You got to quit trying to build a hole. You can't, look, see, if you got a hole that big, if y'all ever dealt no post hole diggers, my boy right here that works on a what'd you call it, a rigger thing, renter? What'd you say you worked on?
Shipyard.
He knows what a post hole digger is. If he's worked on a ship, I bet he's dug a hole. You ever dug a hole with a hole digger before in your life, Renner?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right. If it's that big, Renner, if it's that big, look here, Renner, if it's that big a hole, that big, right, with a post hole, can you go any deeper and get any more dirt out?
Yeah.
How?
Just dig some more.
With a post hole digger. You know how the thing works, right?
Yeah.
It goes down in here, and what do you have to do? Pull it out like that, right? But if a hole ain't no bigger than that, can you pull it out to pinch the dirt?
No.
So what do you have to do?
Get in there and dig with your hands.
Dig with your hands. You can do down in there, but once you go down and you can't reach further, get a hole wider. If a hole's this wide, you can take the post hole digger and pull it out and take the dirt out. You follow what I'm saying? People go like this and they can't figure out why they ain't got no depth. Because they ain't got no width.
Okay.
It seems contradictory. I ain't got no depth. It's because you ain't got no width. You narrow as a pencil. Let me show you what your group look like. Your group, this is 2000. I don't know what year this is, but I ain't got no pencil. Oh, you like that right there. A pencil. Let me see that. I'm going to hold it up with a background. See? You're like a pencil. You need to be wide. Does that make sense? If you can't get depth without width. Does that make sense? You say, well, I got the no width. That ain't your depth, bro. That's called your upline's depth. That's right. Does that make any sense? You got to get width to get depth. So that's a 3.5 hour seminar. I wish some more of you would ask me more about that. How come I need width to get depth? So make that down as like, because people ask me all the time, they say, is there such thing as stupid question? I say, yeah, you should have heard one I heard the other day. It was stupid, man. It was not good. It was embarrassing to me. It was embarrassing to them. It didn't help nothing. But let me give you a good question you could ask. Albright, talk to me about width and depth. How come you need a lot more width to get depth? What's so important about depth? How does depth work? How does motivation work? How does that burn the flame? How does that create wealth? How does it create freedom? How come it is that when I stop working, my business stopped growing? How does depth tie into that? Does this make any sense? Like, how do I keep going? So I say that to say this. We ran a contest. We said, you need to hire at least 2 people, get them contracted in your business, and we will give you, that's right, a T-shirt.
That's right.
Some people say, well, I'm not going to do anything just for a T-shirt. Do you understand the T-shirt is what's directing you to the millions and to making a massive impact on people? And if you ain't going to win the T-shirt, you ain't going to get the Ferrari.
All right.
You don't win the Ferrari and say, look, I didn't get Albright's Ferrari, but I didn't get the T-shirt, but I got a Ferrari. Nuh-uh. The people that get the T-shirts going to get the Ferraris because they're the ones putting in the width.
That's right.
Does that make any sense? You follow what I'm telling you? Like, I'm not tricking with, like, I'm tricking to get you wealthy, but I'm not tricking trying to confuse you. I'm trying to make it plain. All right, so what happened, we said, now, one more, the shirt says 3 and you're free, but we're going to give you the T-shirt for 2. Because people always say to me, I barely missed a trip. Is there any way you could slide me in? I barely missed a qualification T-shirt. Can I have a T-shirt anyway? So what we did, we just set the thing up. Say 3 is free, but if you barely missed it and got 2, we'll give you a T-shirt.
That's right.
Does that make sense? All right, so we gave T-shirts. Now, 3 and you're free. This right here is called the coin of success. Now, we made some in January. Was it January? No, July. We brought these things out. And I'll tell you what, I fired up about this coin. And I was so fired up about it, we were gone in 45 minutes. So everybody already bought them. They were sold out. We had no more people fighting for them. And I still got mine right there. All right, so we came out with a new one. And this one, the difference, I will tell you, the difference where it has the alliance on one side of the coin, we put 20/20 vision, because 20/20 is next year, and 20/20 vision is seeing it clear, and we put in 24/7 RU, which is a pretty cool tagline, and it's my tail number on the jet, and it asks a question. It says it like this: I'm in 24/7 RU. And so I really like this. I love the color scheme of this thing. Simple, clear goals. What do I want? How do I get it? So one side of success coin is what do I want, and the other side is how do I get it. So we're going to give away this coin to everybody that put 3 together. So I want to read these names. I know it's going to be extremely boring for several of you that are not on here. As a matter of fact, we had 352 people hire somebody. Okay, 1. But you need 2 to get the T-shirt. So look at this. Okay, it's just, I know. A little bit more wins the championship.
Come on,
Catherine,
man.
you hear what I'm saying? A little bit more. You want to be a competitor? Uno más. Otro. Does that make sense? 1 more. So the cutoff line begins at 114. Just 1 more, and you're in the top 114. Right. Get this. Just one more gets you the coin, you're in the top 64. Just one more person, you go from 114 to 64. So when you walk by a sharp couple, when you meet this young man and he's your Uber driver, and you don't ask him about his career and his other job and how he loves Ubering, don't put him down. I love Ubering. I love it. If I wasn't doing this, I might be doing that. Seems like a good job. You meet a lot of cool people. How do you like it? How's the benefits? Do you do anything else? How long you been doing? How long you been? That's not a good question. Don't ask that people how long you been Ubering. Just say it's a great company. I heard it was great, and you meet a lot of good people. Do you love it? What else do you do? Okay. Stupid question is how long you been Ubering. I'm just telling y'all, don't do that. They get that question 10. That's like asking a tall person, how's the weather up there? Y'all, I'm telling y'all, y'all gotta learn these things. Some questions are just dumb. Okay? I'm not, I kid you not. Okay? Okay, so here we go. Getting a t-shirt. 3 is free. Mr. Alan G gets one. We're gonna have to have our last names on here sometime eventually. Hired by Ed Soto. Dan E. by Alex Abian. Kimberly O. by Alex Abian. Gail B. Andy Riddle. Tristan B. Ed Soto. Michael H. Olga Mathis. Wesley H. Terry and Tia. Antoine T. Terry and Tia. Delana M. Lauren Atkins. Glenda G. Greg Scheitland. Marcus W. by Stephen Davies. Michael M. by Jason and Tawny Carey. Kim S. by Eric and Bobby Belair. Teresa W. Jason and Tawny Carey. Mike M. by Diane Lampy. I am not calling these names out with the letters anymore. Well, I take that back. I'm going to do it real quick. Roxanne L. Lance P. Jake and Veray. Alfonso. Nikita. Nisha. Will and Sonia. Abel. Chris. Doyle and Casey. Alan B. Jan M. Paul M. Blossom M. Brian and Melody L. Alfonso G. Joe and Tony W. Joseph Dukes. Michael and Angie Owen. Stephen Davies. Abel Verastigi. Brian B. Marvin and Rachel O. Cena. Paul and Sam Minikino. Paul, Eric and Bobby Belair. Olga and Jason Mathis. David and Linda Holt. Linda G. That'd be Global. Danny J. I think that'd be Johnson.
Right here.
Kenneth H., Harriet N., Alan H., and Maurice L. Those are the people that received the t-shirt. Woohoo! They got 2. They recruited 2, and it's actually these past 6 weeks. Got 3. You will get the coin of success. Catherine M., David D., Richard L., Ed Soto, Marcus Richardson, Trina Noel, Adam and Beth Katz, Jeremy Patton, George and Penny Wilson, Matt Goodrich, G. Chris Robinson, Jim R., Justin M., Marty and Diana Doge, Phil A. Burr, Stephen T., Crystal S., Diana S., Louis B., David R., Hannah F., Leona J., Mike S., Jeffrey T., Eric Paul C., Deborah G., Sonia M., Stephanie T., Derek M., Jill S., Diana P., Case and Carissa. Now, let me explain this to you. All you had to do is get 3 to get the coin. The object, you're trying to find another winner. Getting the t-shirt is not what you're looking for, but getting 2 gets you the t-shirt. Getting 3, you get the coin. You're not after the coin. You're after a winner. You're after somebody else that can do this business and duplicate you. I want to give you the people that not only got 3, but got 4. Lori D., Michael and Angie Owens' team, Evan P., Ed Soto's team, Janice Spoon, Kyle and Charlene Cater's team, Kelly Haney, Michael F., I think that would be Frederick under Ed Soto, Diana M. under Jason and Tawny Carey. Let's back up. Michael Frederick put in 5 in width.
That's right.
Diana put in 5 in width. Junior Correa put in 5 in width. Michael Hartley put in 5 in width. 6 in width. John and Carolyn. Chris and Courtney Long. Mimi Romero put in 6. And Jake L. put in 6 with Andy Riddle. Put in 7. Stephen Handy. You put in 7? That's right. Good job, buddy. Lewis Who is Luabati? Luabati, my bad there. Put in 7. Kyle and Sharkater, Kyle put in 7. Good job, Kyle. Diane Lampy put in 7. Terry and Tia right there put in 8. They're getting wide. That's why they have depth. That's why they have security. That's why they have solid company. Nick and Viviana Sabino. Viviana, you in here? Nick's in there too, right there. Hold on, back in here. Here you go. There they are, right there. Right there. They put in 8. Good job. 9, Brandon and Ashley Bill. Bill!
Yeah, he up in there.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, he working.
You get a coin, baby. And 9 people, man. Jake and Belle Kraus put in 9. Mike and Ann Paleo put in 9. Lee Reyes put in 9. Smoking. Good job. Alex Fitzgerald put in 10 in width. Well, you know, Andy, I don't know. Fitz hired 10, but does any of them do anything? Well, yeah, he got Diane Lampy. He got Paul Roberts. He got that Johnson boys killing it. He's got Dozier, Alleman. See, the way it works is you do the do, and you do the do, and you do it. I am telling you, I've been doing this for 27 years. This is the way it works. Hire people and be nice. Hire people. Just keep putting them in with. Mike and Noel Leventovich have put in 11 in the past 6 weeks. 11. They're massive. Multi-millionaires. Angela Manzo put in 12 in width. Angela Manzo?
That's right.
Way to go, girl. Mike and Michelle Alleman put in 13 in the last 6 weeks. Brant and Jill put in 15 in the last 6 weeks. Marissa Wilson, where you at? Did you put in 17 people?
Let's go.
Woo! Alex Abian, 23. Jason and Tawny Carey, 41. Andy Riddle put in 45 people. Mr. Andy Riddle, woohoo! Give these guys a hand for winning this contest. I know it was boring if your name didn't get read. And I know you want your last name read. We usually save that for agency managers. And becoming an agency manager requires you get 4 people semi-successful. And that's how you become an agency manager. If it's only you, we can't put you at agency manager status. You're going to have to help other people. I want to talk more about this coin, but I want to introduce y'all to a friend who's just been getting closer and closer over the last few months. Actually introduced to me by Justin Balick, and actually I don't think y'all were friends. I think y'all just connected somehow on LinkedIn, some kind of a social media, and then Balick said, I think you want to meet this guy. It's interesting how we've met people over the years. It's called networking. And I checked Chad out. I made some calls around the industry, and they said he was the real deal. And so right now, Chad is on track to do a lot of annuities. Let me give you an idea. Our top guy last year, what did he do, $2 million? I think it was Swindell. I think Swindell's leading the country right now again. I think I got my numbers right here. Recruiting. I don't know if I have only annuity. Yeah. No, I do. I got year to date. So year to date, Swindell's at 1.6 million. Not shabby at all. Mark Hutchinson's at 1.3 million. AC and Letitia are at 1 million. And Mike Shields is at 1 million. Tracy Alvarado is at 700,000. Ed Soto's at 700,000. Hartlieb is right at 700,000. Dr. Hebert is at 645,000. John Courtney is at 600,000. So we've got respectable production. So our top guy last year did 2 million. Looks like Swindell's going to do at least 2 million this year. Looks like Terry's going to be all over 1 million. This gentleman right here is on track to personally produce 25 million in annuity production this year. Give him a hand for that. His name is Chad Owen. He doesn't work all the time, but I've been around him enough to know that he's thinking all the time. He's praying all the time. He's listening all the time. And therefore, he is productive all the time. And that's another concept that I want to try to get people to follow. But how do you get productive? But Chad, if you would talk to us about how you got into this world of annuity production. What got you started? What did you see when you got into it? Just kind of give us and he hails from Austin, Texas.
Yeah, that's right.
Married and
Four kids.
Four.
Yeah, 2 of them are married.
2 married.
Yeah.
Talk to us, Chad.
So I got started in this industry a little over 15 years ago, and basically I was in the jewelry business for quite a few years.
Did you say jewelry?
Jewelry, yep.
Okay.
My wife loved it. It was perfect.
I feel like I'm in the jewelry business sometimes.
But basically, I got tired of working the corporate routine. I got tired of working the 100+ hours a week at Christmas and Valentine's Day and just really not being able to enjoy life in general. So I remember praying, this is about 2 or 3 years before I left corporate. I was like, Lord, I want a job where I can actually go and enjoy life, not just make money, but enjoy life. So I ended up leaving that business, got into the eye surgery business. For a year, I ran a LASIK eye surgery center. And once again, it got bought out by corporate. I said, I'm not doing that either. So I talked to my brother. My brother said, what do you think I should do? And he goes, you need to get into insurance. And I'm like, okay, I'll do insurance, no problem. And not knowing anything about insurance, so I replied to an ad in the paper. And yes, I was back when it was actually ads in papers, not anything online. And I saw this insurance agents wanted. I'm like, great, let's do it. So I got started in mortgage protection. Well, in mortgage protection, the first full month I wrote $36,000 in life insurance premiums, and I didn't know if that was good or bad. Apparently, it brought in the VP of the company, and he was very impressed about that. And I know I've been in sales for many years, and when you bring a VP, you know that's probably a pretty good month.
Yeah.
Right.
And so this guy's in front of basically 30 people, and he goes, you guys need to sell like Chad. You need to be like Chad. And I raised my hand, and he's like, yes. I said, who's Chad? And he's like, what? I said, who's Chad? He goes, well, that's you, right? I said, you don't know who I am. I came in here selling life insurance. You're putting everybody else down here, and you're saying you need to sell like me, but I could have been a crook. I didn't know that. So I started to understand where the motivation was in his heart. He just wanted to get one person as a superstar and promote him. I don't like that. I want people to come up together, rise together, not just one person being pointed out. So he basically asked me in front of everybody, well, come on, what's your motivation? You got a fancy watch, don't you? And I said, yep, right there. There's my watch. I don't ever wear a watch. Okay? And he said, and to me, and just side note, why don't I wear a watch? Because my time's not regulated by me. It's what God wants me to do, when he wants me to do it, how he wants me to do it. So it's not regulated by me. I don't own my time. Therefore, I don't tell my time what to do. He does. It's a whole nother thing. But then he goes, well, it's got to be real estate. It's got to be this. I said, and I said, no, it's not. And he goes, then why do you push the way you do? And I said, because it's about helping others. So when I started doing this, I ended up doing the mortgage protection, and then I heard this word called annuity. I didn't know much about annuities, but I knew the reason why I did $36,000, and I consistently did that every single month. And why did I do that? Because I thought everybody that owned a home needed to have their home protected, period. They had to have it protected. And I used to go through the A leads, the B leads, the C leads. To me, the B leads and the C leads were what? A leads.
Leads.
I never looked at A leads, B leads, or C leads. I looked at them all the same.
Okay.
Because if they're
That's
a
right.
B lead or a C lead, that means they needed to be an A lead because they hadn't been helped yet.
That's right.
They didn't get what I thought was necessary. And what did I think was necessary? They needed to protect their family. I mean, I use this example because I remember back in the day, when I met Andy, I started talking about the mortgage protection, started bringing up old flashbacks. And I'm like going, okay, I'm going to Google not Google. I went in my computer, put in mortgage protection. I found my old mortgage protection lead, and then I found when I transitioned it into annuities. I remember talking to this one guy about mortgage protection, and his family's there. His wife's sitting at the table, a couple kids wandering around, And he said, well, I just can't afford this $50 a month. I said, that's interesting. I said, do you have cable, sir? And he's like, yeah, I do. I said, do you think if you die, your kids are going to give a rip about the last TV show that they watched? Or are they going to be sitting there going, what do we do about the home? We're going to lose the home. How am I going to pay for college? How's mom going to be able to handle? That's why I thought that, and I believe that. So then I figured this word annuity, I heard about that, and I'm like, okay, this sounds really good. And I found a product that has basically no risk to the market. I was like, this is perfect, because it's a win-win game. You can't lose in it. And so this was before Income Riders came out. I was like, this is what I need to do. Why? I don't like losing, period. It's not an option for me. You know, a lot of people say this. Who plays chess in here? Who plays chess? Anybody play chess? What's the best piece on the chessboard?
Queen.
Queen? I would disagree. I would say it's the pawn. Well, who said the pawn?
That's Mika right there.
Yeah, you're a good guy. The pawn, because it's the only piece that moves forward. It can only move forward, and it's the only piece that can be redeemed. So if we live our life as the pawn, we can be redeemed, right? So when I'm sitting there trying to help these people with a product that can't be beat, I started to get this mindset that I can't be beat. And so I got into the annuity industry. Well, 4.5 million in annuities off of mortgage protection leads.
Hold on. Mortgage protection leads, 4.5 million. Oh, and I beg to be corrected. Dr. Phil Hebert, let me make sure I got my stuff right here, was #1 last year with over 2 million. So this is also a call out to Dr. Phil Hebert and say, currently you're sitting at #8, and I would like you to finish #1. But if you don't have to, don't feel obligated. But I am introducing you to a gentleman that wrote 4.5 million in annuities his first year in mortgage protection business. He wrote 4.5 million in annuities. So I got all you top guys, Terry and Brant, who I gave credit for being #1, who's #1 right now, and Hutchinson. We can pick up some tips from this dude, and we can take this thing to $1 billion in annuities along with $1 billion in life. Is that? I'm telling y'all, it's out there. So how did you do that? What was your? Did you have a green sheet? Is that what it was?
No, I did not. No.
If you'd had a green sheet, I bet you done 6.
This was before we didn't even have green paper. We only had white paper options. We didn't have those printer things. We had to write down a little fact finder. Yeah, we didn't have that. We had to deal with. Actually, it's carved on a stone. It was that back that well. But here's the thing. When you have something or a belief in something bigger than yourself, you'll always succeed because you're working for someone more than yourself. And that's really what it comes into. So when I go into appointment, I don't care if someone has $50,000 or they have $10 million. I treat them the same. Because, and actually I use this story, you know, Andy, I was finding out that I'm a storyteller. And when I was 16 years old, I felt what I thought, fell in love with this girl. She ripped my heart out. She set it on fire. She backed over it. She destroyed me. And so I'm crying in this room, and my dad walks in, a former military, and he goes, son, what's the matter? So this girl ripped my heart out. He goes, oh, don't worry, son, it's only puppy love. And I said, yeah, but Dad, it's real to the puppy. And to me, and that's one of the first times I only said, that's one of the first times my dad didn't have a response back. The other time was when we had 3 daughters, and my son, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I finally got a boy. It didn't matter, boy or girl, but when the boy came out, I'm like, boy, this is awesome. And so I call my dad and I say, hey, we have a boy. And he goes, oh, yeah, but son, I'm still more of a man than you. And I'm like, why? He goes, because I had 7 kids. I said, yeah, but Dad, I had more with one woman. He was married 3 times. So that was the other time. But back to
Topper, you topper. Topper.
Yeah. But the thing is it's got to be real to whoever you're in front of. So if you drive up to a house and you see a house that you go, wait a second, this doesn't look like they have any money. Guess what? It doesn't matter what it is. They don't have money because you're walking in there with that mindset they don't have money, period. They're going to see that. They're going to feel that. They're going to know that. So you treat everybody the same. And quite frankly, if somebody has 10 million and they lose 30%, poor you, you got 7 million bucks. You have 100,000, you lose 30%, that's 70,000. That's some problems. So I got in the industry wanting to help people. To me, I don't care if you guys remember my name at all, but I want you to remember what I did for people and what I did for you. Why? What I did for you is to create a freedom lifestyle while living a freedom lifestyle. So I'm at 17.6 million for the year in annuities. I've already taken 12 weeks off this year. I just passed 41 countries that I've been able to travel to with my wife and my kids. A public success and a private failure is a failure. If your kids can't clap louder than anybody else, then there's a problem going on.
That's right.
If your wife isn't clapping louder than your kids,
Come on here.
then you got a problem going
All
on.
right, Chad.
Go ahead, Ted.
You have to make sure that you're living for way more than yourself. So the annuities, the mortgage protection, the life insurance, what are we doing? If we sit there and go, well, hey man, it gets me this, it gets me that, that's great. That's a benefit, that's a side effect. But why are you doing it? Because you're helping people.
That's right.
I love helping people. I love vision, I love dreams. But I always dream and have visions far greater than I could ever achieve by myself. The African proverb goes, if you want to go fast, go by yourself.
Come on
If you
here,
want to go
Chad.
far, travel together, work together.
That's big.
So when he talks about, you know, I've been involved in churches for many, many years. And a lot of churches are more interested in being in a mile wide and an inch deep versus a mile deep and an inch wide. We got to dig deep. We got to find out. I call it pain points. And I'm going to be speaking at the conference in January, and that's one of the topics I'm going to hit is pain points. How do you help someone? You look in their eyes and you find their pain points. And then you find a solution to that. That's how you change people's lives. So that's how I got into the business. Annuities are incredible. They quite
Did you well, you did 4.5 million first year in mortgage protection, and then did you
second year?
second
First
so
year
second
was
year
2.5 million.
2.5 million in annuities. First, that'd be your first year in insurance.
Is second year when I discovered the annuities.
Okay.
So first year in insurance. And you got to remember, when I got started in the business, it wasn't until about 6, 7 years, actually really about 3 years ago, where the annuity is now not a bad name anymore.
Right.
When I got started in the business, annuity was a curse word. It really was. People didn't understand what annuity was. My grandfather had annuity when he died. I didn't get anything. Yeah, that's because you weren't the beneficiary. You know, what'd you do wrong to Grandpa Joe?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you must have been a scumbag. You know, because first of all, Grandpa Joe's dead, and you're saying you didn't get anything. But that's a whole other thing. Now, once again, their perception of annuities was totally different. It's no longer that way anymore. When you got these large publications like Smart Money, which is a Wall Street Journal magazine, say retirees need less stocks, more annuities. Time Business comes out and says how safe insurance companies are. Market Watch, which does nothing but promote annuities, says retirees need more annuities, less stocks. These are publications that never would promote us before. So you got to understand, we are no longer in an industry with annuities that is a bad thing. It is an incredible thing. And we need to remember that. So getting started in the annuity business, 2.5 million.
So
was,
first year, didn't know about annuities.
Nope.
Second year, found out about annuities, did 2.5 million with mortgage leads. And then third year, 4.5 million in annuities,
mortgage protection.
mortgage protection
And the
leads.
only reason I stopped doing mortgage protection and started doing annuities is because that's when the mortgage crisis happened. And
2008.
our lead system got hammered. But the volatility of the market created what? People concerned, so it helped with the annuities.
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
what happened.
That's right.
And otherwise, I mean, I'm getting back into life insurance now, and it's taken me years, but I got so focused on the annuities, and it's quite frankly because my client, my demographic is older. But you can't say it can't be done because 4.5 million in a place where annuities were the bad word, anybody can do it. I see those numbers, and I'm just like, in my head, I'm already going, if he does $1 million right now, 10 million next year. I have a guy right now that wrote 1.2 million last year. He's at 9.3 million this year. I help people double, triple, quadruple their numbers.
All right. Listen to me. Renner. What's your name?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. The key to life is the attention. Whatever you pay attention to, you're going to go to. Okay? People are scatterbrained. And they got, okay, I'm telling you, whatever you focus on is going to grow. Wherever you put your attention, Danny. And the older you get, Danny, how many grandkids you got now? 4? Man, I got 4 grandkids. He's got, this is why we look for 27-year-olds, no kids, no dogs, and preferably no goldfish either. We want you to have one attention, and that is becoming successful and helping other people become successful. Okay, so attention. So a guy asked me recently, he said, what do you keep in front of you? I said, this right here. What do I want? And I even provide, you say, I don't know what I want. Well, I'm going to give you some suggestions. Prosperity, inspiration, and eternity. The first thing you need to know is you can't take your money with you, Renner. I know how to break this to you, but you're going to be dying, and all your money is going to be left here. But you can send it forward, meaning the rewards can be waiting for you in eternity based on how many people you help, how many people you make a difference in their life. Prosperity, inspiration, eternity. We say have fun, make money, make a difference. The make a difference ties into eternity. Statistics, psychologists, any book you read about success, people that know they're going to die, think about dying, plan for dying.
That's right.
And they do more now because they realize they could go like that.
That's right.
That makes sense. I know, like, people go like, that's depressing to think you're going to die. Let me explain something to you, bro. It's not depressing to me that I'm going to die. My back going to quit hurting when I die. You with me? I'm going to be able to see out this eye again. I will be able to hear you when you come up from this side. I won't have to say, sit on this side so I can hear you. I'm going to be made whole, and I'm going to help as many people as I can because I believe that it matters.
That's right.
You don't have to believe it, but I would be interested to hear your philosophical approach to eternity. Did you evolve from a dadgum squirmy thing out of the ocean and become a man? Is that what you're thinking? Because I want to hear you. Talk to me. You with me?
Yes, sir.
I don't understand that concept. If the concept of you were produced by a God or the God, then there is going to be an eternity. And let me tell you something. I'm an engineer. I studied this in NC State. Eternity lasts longer than a normal standard life. Eternity lasts longer than an extended life.
Come on here.
Like if you live a long time, you're still not going to live this long eternity. And then the inspiration, I like this one. Because when you make the money, you got to spend it, give it away, get buildings named for you. You got to become a legacy. Because nobody is going to follow you if you're not inspiring.
That's right.
And then the prosperity, you ain't got nothing to inspire with, you ain't got no money. You ain't got no transportation to get to where the people are. And jets and cars, stuff costs money. So what do I want? Prosperity, inspiration, eternity. Simple, clear goals. What do you want? My wife just said, she texted me, we started talking about jewelry. She said, that inspired a thought. I want my wife to have more and more jewelry. You with me? I want, like, what is the simple stuff? Like, it's just so easy for me. But so many people, they talk about stuff that don't matter.
Come on here, all right.
Don't matter. I'm telling you, you need to narrow what you want. Narrow it. Simplify and narrow it. Because wherever your attention goes. So what my man says is people got money. There's trillions out there. So he's focused on it. Focused. He's like a dog in a hunt. As a matter of fact, he's one of the prettiest bulldogs I've ever seen in my life. That joker get on the subject. I said, what do you think about these people that they find 50,000 or 100,000, they don't stay after it? He was like, why'd they leave a house? They should have told him about that time when I was a little kid and I was talking to my daddy. I said, oh, here we go again. My boy getting ready to tell a story.
That's right. Pop him with a P, baby.
What's that?
Pop him with a P.
Pop him with a P?
A parable, baby.
A parable? Hit him with a Y and pop him with a parable.
That's right.
Okay. He focuses. When you're in a house, what do I want? A check, a referral, a recruit, and some money. Okay? I can say that all kinds of ways. Green sheet, ERSs, who else wants to make some money? And I got to get a check. I got to get a check, or I got to pick up the phone, call somebody to get me to help me get a check. And if I ain't got sense enough to remember 4 things, I got to call somebody, or I tattoo it on my arm right here like the quarterbacks. Oh, one other thing. Did I tell you about the ERS? Because when I'm in the house, I got to focus. Does that make sense? Y'all know what Gus says. You got to focus.
That's right.
Right? Okay. I've got 2 or 3 new people I've hired I'm coaching. Let me explain something to y'all. I am going to wash your mind all the other junk, and we're going to get you focused on these 4 basics. And one of the basics is this daggum annuities. I called it a green sheet. I called it safe money. But I'm going to tell you this. You guys that know how to get a check for mortgage protection when you get in the house and you ain't going to leave, when you get that bulldogish about annuity is this, you're going to get these kind of numbers this man. He's just bulldogish. I've been around him the last 24 hours. And I'm just going to tell you, he'll tell you a story, and then he'll tell you another story. You eventually write a check, he'll quit telling stories. He might be telling one on the way out. But he knows stories about annuities like we know stories about mortgage protection and final expense. That's the difference. I done figured it out. So we're going to study his stories. Okay? That ties in, how do I do it? Okay? So the first side of successful coin is, what do I want? And the situation depends, right? Right now I'm in the house. What do I want? I want to execute the 4 basics, or I'm going to look like a dum-dum. Does that make sense? I'm going to execute the 4 basics, or I'm going to lose. You want to win, renter? Get good at the 4 basics in the house.
That's right.
Be superbly brilliant. People are like, how am I going to get good at the 4 basics in the house and learn how to drive home? Well, you already know how to drive home. All we got to do is get you the 4 basics. Why am I going to learn how to recruit? I'm going to train you how to do that. Well, what if I don't know about annuities? We're going to put the tools in place that you can train. It's simple, 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 simple. Okay, the biggest thing I want to talk to you about, how to get it. This is the weirdest thing, Danny. This is the lesson of the day. 20% of the stuff you do is effective. 80% of it is a waste of time. I need for you to become a better procrastinator than you are an executor. We got to learn how to procrastinate 80% of the stuff in our life. Some of y'all, it's 90% of the stuff you need to procrastinate. That makes sense? Oh, I sure would. I sure would watch some television. Looks like I'm going to have to put it off to next week. Make it a week after. I sure would like social media and see what my ex-girlfriend, my ex-high school roommate, my ex-teacher, I want to see what all my buddies been doing. I want to check out social media. I want to see what Trump done tweeted. I want to see what the left done this time. Put it off. 90% of what most people are doing is a waste of time, and they need to learn how to put it off. Does that make sense? Yeah. I can talk to you about doing the do or putting off the not do. Either way, I got to get you to understand is what I'm doing is different than what you're doing. I like people like, I'm doing what you're doing and I'm just not getting the same results. You're not doing what I'm doing. If you're doing what I'm doing, you'd be getting my results. I'm not doing what he's doing. I need to do what he's doing if I'm going to get his results. Right. You get the concept?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah, Andy's created a culture here. I have people all the time reaching out to me saying, help me, help me, help me, offering me crazy amounts of money. and I've rejected so many people I can't even count because they don't have the culture. So I checked out Annie too. I'm like, I love this culture that he's created. But here's the thing. What's this gentleman's name? The electrician?
I call him Renner.
Okay, Renner? Okay, Renner? Okay, Renner. So is it possible to be in a room full of electricity and not utilize it?
Mm-hmm.
It is, right?
Yeah.
So you have this room that's fully charged with electricity.
Uh-huh.
How do you utilize that electricity? You have to find a plug.
That's right.
And then you have to plug in.
Uh-huh. And what else?
The problem is there's so many people that have the electricity available to them, this organization, but they're not plugging in. Who are the outlets? It's these top leaders, these top trainers. Plug in the resources. There is so much training material. If you don't plug in, you're not going to know any of this. And then you wonder why you're not getting charged up. You can't get charged up in a room full of electricity unless you plug in. So you got to plug into what he has going on. You got to plug into your leaders, the ones that are helping you. You got to plug in. Because this passion, this drive, this prosperity, you can't get that unless you plug in.
So here's what we've done. This has been a kind of a secret thing we've pulled off. Chad has agreed to a 2 days of intense training, and we couldn't open it up to everybody. One is he's very protective of his time with his family, and the only way that he would agree to that amount of time is if we agreed to compensate him for his services. So for his training, he normally gets $2,000 for 2 days of training, not one-on-one. That's if you come in a group, he normally gets a little over or right at $2,000. And so because we said we'll bring in, I think we said we'd bring in 50 people. So we'll agree to write him a check, a decent sized check, to come in, and we're flying into Austin. So there's no slots available. I'm not advertising. I'm saying we're going in, and we're going to, and Swindell's on it, Hutchinson's on it, Soto's in it, Terry Edwards is there, and we're going to come back and we're going to relay the information that we get from Chad. And we're going to have other opportunities to train with Chad, because what we'd like to do is take our annuity production times 10x.
That's right.
Y'all know I've been on a mission to take our recruiting to 10x. Let me be crystal clear. We need more rear ends up in this culture, up in this world, to find people to help, because we got more daggum. We ain't having no mortgage problem. We ain't having no final expense. We got leads. We got leads, and more leads. Somebody was asking me, said, should I buy some annuity leads? He said, they run $400 or $500 each. You drop yourself $2,500 and you don't sell an annuity, you're going to be ticked. On the other hand, a mortgage protection, you sitting there and get your $400 or $500 worth of leads, you're going to be able to find annuities every single week and be able to move some money. So he says, it's up to you. If you want to spend that kind of money, I can show you how to spend that kind of money. But I'm sitting here, if you're running through mortgage protection, 15, 20 appointments, and you're not selling annuities, you don't need to buy no annuity leads, because you can't sell annuities, because you just run it, you're plowing right over them and you're missing that money. You with me on it? So what we're going to do is we're going to focus, pay some attention to this gentleman's stories and how he pulls it off. That's the how to get what we're going to get. Making sense? And so I want to mess with them on a couple of your stories. Let's say we're down there in Texas, and the man's got some cows out there, and he says, "Man, I'm gonna tell you what, I got my money in the stock market, and I just don't want to miss out on the opportunity. And I hear things might be getting to take off, things getting turned around in America, and I just hate to miss out on the opportunity. And I'm a farmer, got on my, oh, y'all didn't see my new Lacases. Look at that. Got my new Lacases on. You look down there, you see them boots on him, you know you got something on the bottom of it right there. How we talk to this fella? What would you tell him?
Actually, I had this case about 3-4 weeks ago, and this gentleman had a lot of money. He had probably about $2 million, and he's been with his broker for over 30 years, and he has 400 head of cattle. I said, sir, can you just tell me something? I said, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, just like you to answer them. Said, in 2000, 2003, 2007 to 2009, what approximately did you lose each year in your stock market account? He said, probably about 50%. I said, okay. I said, now you have 400 head of cattle out there, right? He's like, yeah. I said, so you've had this broker for about 30 years. He's like, yeah. I said, how long have you had cattle for? And he goes, about the same time. So what would happen if you hired a ranch hand and he went out there and killed 50% of your herd? Just started shooting all of them. What would you do? Would you pay that guy? There's no way I'd pay that guy. But this guy's been with you a long time. Family friend. Would you pay that guy? He goes, no. I said, what would happen? He goes, that guy probably still wouldn't be alive. I said, that's interesting. So, but don't worry, sir. You know, he only killed 200 of the cattle. He only killed 50%. Don't worry, they'll breed.
They'll grow back.
They'll come back.
They'll grow back.
They'll get back. Don't worry, you'll get back to your original 400 herd. Why are you wanting him to die? Why do you want him fired? Why do you not want him around anymore? Because he killed 50% of my herd. I said, your broker killed 50% of your herd of Benjamins, 2007 to 2009, and they're still staying around. But don't worry, the stock market will come back, and your Benjamins will come back. That herd will come back. Oh, wow, I never thought of that. I walked out of that house with $800,000.
I'm telling y'all, people don't understand what you're saying. Communication's not happening. We got to tell better annuity stories. How about a guy that has a car dealership? Mechanic, got 10 mechanics. And he just, I just don't know if I want to put any money. I don't want to move it in a CD. I don't want to move it out of checking. I don't want to move it out of savings. I don't want to move it 401k. And I'm 59 and a half years old, and I'm a mechanic. So, what would you say to me?
I've never had anybody ask that one before, so I got to do this right like that. Okay, mechanic. Basically, sir, what would happen if 50% of the cars you worked on stopped working? Would you still have a job? No way, I'd get fired. So you're saying if you work on cars and 50% of them break down as soon as they go out of the shop, let's say they don't break down. Let's say you work on it, you work on the engine, a specific part of the engine, and that breaks down a year later. Well, don't worry, you got a warranty on it. The client's still going to be ticked off that that car broke down. Would you still have a job after a while? No. Your stock account breaks down about every 5 to 7 years.
Oh boy.
And your broker still gets paid, don't they? Do you see a problem there when somebody gets paid? And here, let me just share something with you, sir. You hear brokers in the financial world a lot of times say they hate annuities. I would disagree with that term. I would say they love annuities.
Why do you say that?
But what's their annuity? It's you. Because as long as you're still with them, they keep making their fees year after year. You're their annuity. So would you rather be your own annuity, where you tell your money to give you income for the rest of your life, or would you rather be your broker's annuity that gets paid whether you're winning or losing? You tell me.
I'll take that.
I knew you'd come up with something.
Oh, that was a tough one.
We could do rabbits. We could do the guy's an engineer. We could have guy that works down at Lorillard making them cigarettes, making them death sticks. Hey, look, let me explain something to y'all. We're killing it. The Alliance is killing it. Like, all these people are doing annuities. This is huge. As a matter of fact, and I want to introduce you. Can Chris and you and Van, can y'all make your way around here? I know we got to kind of sort through this. But what we've done the past year, from last year to this year, we 2x'd. We doubled our annuity production. Yay! We doubled. And I really think it was a lot because of this team that we've put together, the training we've put together, and Chris Norris and his team at BAM, what they did helping people because of our ability as a financial institution that they can move money without your client having to have these big discussions with their broker. Because them brokers, you know, some of them slick talking.
Yeah.
Some.
So when you go to move your annuity, they're going to have to talk to their broker, and that broker will spin that thing around on you like a 180. Bam! And you'll be like, I thought I had him. And the broker, but when you can deal with Chris or you can deal with Van, they can move that money with no discussion. So here's my thinking. We bring in this guy who's got the stories. And by the way, he really understands annuities too. I mean, he really gets them. The indexing portion, the upward ability, the protection from the variables in the stock market, the protection from lawsuits. I mean, he gets it, okay? So it's not just the storytelling. He gets how annuities work. But I'm saying we have now brought on Van Gray to tag team with Chris, and then we have Chad talking to us about annuities. We're looking as 2020 to have 10x growth on annuities.
There we go. That's right.
Like I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
10x in 1 year, just like that. Bam.
Well, I can tell you, if I had someone like a Chris and Van in my annuities, I could do 30 to 40% more.
Woo! I got one more secret weapon. Gina Hawks is over here. Gina, can you wake up? Gina Hawks in here. If we will access the team and access the system. And I hired this brand new young guy, super sharp. And he said, Andy, help me. I know I got to get selling. Is my friends going to start following me when I start successful? I said, it's just like my cousin. So I got a jet. You think he's going to do what I say now? He didn't do what I said when I didn't have a jet, and he ain't doing what I said now. Adam Katz, I didn't have nothing, and Adam followed me. It's called recruiting. It's called planting. You throw it out there and say, look, I got something. I'm working with this joker in North Carolina. Boy's got some insurance deal he's putting together, got some leads, and we need some help. Those 4 things I teach. Y'all have no idea. My staff told me, I was working with them, and they said, we didn't understand how you stay in the weeds and talk about the simple stuff all the time and talk about the leads and the help and the insurance and Albright, and just because I want my people to be good at the basics. Okay, now watch this. And I'm going to show you the basics of selling.
That's right.
And this guy's like, how am I going to do both? I said, I'm going to teach you both. I'm going to teach you. That'd be like Tiger Woods saying, I can hit a driver, but dadgum, hitting it just a little way with a little putter. I can't putt, but I can hit it a long ways. You can't play golf if you can't putt and drive.
That's right.
Does that make sense? Right. You can't be successful in this business unless you do the 4 basics and the 4 basics. This is recruiting, and this is selling. I'm going to learn you on each of these. Now, what you ain't going to have time for is pinochle and that daggum violin you're trying to learn how to play, and that fiddle player too. Who you think you are, Charlie Daniels? You with me? It's focus. My goal between now and 2020 vision, between now and January 1st, is to get people focused on the simplest of stuff and blow this thing up and create some crazy dadgum annuity, life premium, and recruits. I love this question. Somebody came up to me and they said, hey, Andy, what are we going to do when we fill up this convention center? I said, that's the questions we need to be asking. That's a good question. What are we going to do? Because we're getting ready to fill this thing up. What are we going to do when we start doing billions of dollars of annuities? What are we going to do? That's what we need to start thinking about, because I'm telling you, it's going to happen with this team. Gina, would you just say hey to everybody and tell everybody where you've been and what you've been seeing across the country and where you're going next?
Okay. Hey, everybody.
Hey, girl.
Good to see you guys. Hey, Terry. Where have I been? Wow. I've been to Texas. I've been to Atlanta. I've been to Florida. I've been to California, Las Vegas. That's in like the last 2 weeks. And then next week I'm going to be in Chicago on Monday doing a boot camp at 2 o'clock. And then the hotspot, and then I'm going to be in Detroit on Tuesday. Looking forward to seeing all you awesome people in Detroit. And then Clark, New Jersey on Wednesday. And looking forward to seeing everybody out there and just going out to the hotspots and seeing the growth. I was in Ocala, Florida last night. 41 people
Wow.
at the
Woohoo!
hotspot and 31 guests.
Whoa.
Good gosh.
Yeah. So it's blowing up.
Very
It's
cool.
just awesome to see. We have an amazing team, and like Chad said, we have an amazing culture and amazing leadership with Andy. And just don't miss out on it, guys. The opportunity is there. It's blowing up, and it's only going to get better. And I'm just blessed to be a part of it. Can't wait to see you guys out there across the country.
Thank you, buddy. So, attention. Chicago, Monday. I got a guy in Chicago. Where else do you say you're going to be?
Detroit.
I got a guy in Detroit. I'm texting him right now. I'm talking to him. Where are you going to be next?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Newark.
You with me? So I'm just going like, all right. I keep my stuff out in front of me. Who's my guy? Because I'm trying to get deeper and I'm trying to get wider. And I'm really like the Chicago thing. I'm telling you, I'm working on my depth right now. I'm going to go, hello, Chicago. Did you hear that, Nate? Hello. She's going to be doing a boot camp. Hello. Well, my person's got a job. They need going to be sick on Monday. I call me a predictor of people. She's going to be sick. What I would go with is diarrhea, because seldom will they check up on you with that one. This is not for my staff. No diarrhea report. Chicago. Hello, Chicago. I'm just telling you, I'm focused on doing one more deep. You focused on keeping what you got. You focused on trying to get them right. And I know they're going to get right, because time and pressure is what creates diamonds. And if I can put in some depth while they getting right, if I can put some width while they getting in right, it goes like this. Whoop! Width and deep. You with me? Whoop!
That's right.
I'm telling y'all, I've been doing this a long time. Focus on it. Chris Norris.
Yes, sir.
Are you struggling, right? You got some health situations.
Got a little cold
You supposed to be laying down sleeping, ain't you?
Yeah.
That's what the
I'm
doctor
excited.
said. Well, I ain't gonna get you screaming into the mic, but we appreciate. I'll give you an elbow.
Give me an elbow.
Appreciate what you've done with the annuities and helping people. I wanna be crystal clear that these guys are paid by the company to help y'all with annuities, but that barely feeds them. Their deal is bringing in securities money, brokerage money, variable money that don't go into annuities, because legally you've got to leave some of the people's wealth in liquid money, which is what these guys special in.
Right.
So would you say 65%?
60% is the recommended for annuities, 40% liquid.
So the 40% liquid would be here. That's what floats their boat. That's what pays them to help you. So if you're saying, God, I wish you would fly here, I wish you'd talk to my person, his goal, their deal is to drive that liquid money. So if they move $1 million and then move $600,000 to you and keep $4,000 there, they're going to be fired up about you and extremely responsive to your phone calls. Does that make sense? Because they're like us. They're a meritocracy or whatever. They get paid to produce too. Does that make sense? And we got this new guy, Van. If you let Van slide in here, I think you spoke on TWC, and I heard a lot of good things. So what's your vision as you come in, Van, with this organization, and what you see with the talent and the annuities that we're already moving? Now we got Chad here.
Yeah, I think what you're talking about with the annuities is huge opportunity. I think what I mentioned on Wednesday's call. We have the thing is, when I came from banking and the investment aspect of it, there's nothing else out there as far as CD rates, what the banks are offering. I mean, this is easy. And you're talking about blowing this up next. I mean, I think that goal could be actually conservative. I mean, there's absolutely nothing out there. And that people are looking for fixed income and things of that nature, man. It's, as I mentioned, we have Equitable, which is a new carrier, has a 2-year product, like I said, and it's 3.1% for 2 years.
Is that guaranteed?
That's guaranteed.
Guaranteed 3.1% for 2 years.
5-year is 4%.
Hello.
That's unbelievable. Now let's say, okay, well that's great. How about but let's go with 10-year Treasury. I like United States of America. I'm gonna put it in for 10 years. What are they gonna pay me? 1.6%, somewhere around there. 1.6% for 10 years. I mean, anyway.
Guys, we got the time. We got the team put together here. If you access the system and focus, where you put your attention is a key to your life, and it's a key to the next year of your life. Where you put your attention and your focus. And there's going to be a time and place for everything. Austin, Texas, we're going to be getting together with Chad. We're looking at some other training dates and some other training strategies where we do conference calls where it's just straight up Chad for an hour and teaching. So we're getting our mind set on all that, how it's going to work. And the biggest thing we got to do right now is kick butt and take names, guys. I love y'all. Fired up. The Alliance is on fire. Thank y'all for plugging in.
Yeah.
We're gonna run an ad for that rate.
Yeah.